All right, welcome back, we boys. The market is open. It is 9:33 on February 9th, 2021. And true to my word, I sold my NAT stock. Well, most of it, 120 shares, right? I left the fractional share there for fun's sake. Made a profit. We can check that out. And I'll tell you why, of course, we sold the NAT in just a second, if this will load up. DHT had its earnings yesterday. They fell short of earnings. And so, according to my prediction, if DHT falls short, NAT will fall short since they are twins. NAT releases its earnings about 2 weeks after DHT. So later this month, and since yesterday DHT fell below earnings, we are selling our Nordic American tankers because I predict that this will also fall short of its earnings. Now, while DHT did, let's see if we can find out what I sold. Look, I sold 120 2 minutes ago, 120 shares, made a nice little profit on it. So not $1 million, but a nice little profit on it. We'll go down here and we'll check out the DHT. Now these earnings, of course, the simplified version that Robinhood gives you is not a good thing. It dropped down. Oh man, look at this yesterday. It was going up all day yesterday, and right after market they released earnings and it fell like a rock. So let's go down here and I'll show you why. Here's what it was predicted to do, and here's what it did, right? The problem, of course, being that it did not produce nearly as much money. And if you look at the specifics of what it did, and we can try to pull that up real fast, but I'll briefly go over it. DHT did not make nearly as much money as it was predicted to make. But it did pay off a lot of debts. So even though it didn't make as much money, it did pay off a lot of debts, which is actually very good. They did not lose money. They just did not make as much. They did not make hundreds of millions of dollars. They made tens of millions of dollars. Less than what people thought they would make, but still not enough, right? I'm looking for the charts. They had charts up here. Maybe it was on here. But they, I think it's still a very solid company. They're paying off their debts. Here we go. There's some charts here. So, fourth quarter, this is the thing. They were predicted to do 57, right, but they did 47. They were predicted to make 155. They made 141, right, revenue. Yeah. There's other ones that have other charts. They paid off a lot of debt. So that's good. So they're going for more long-term. The thing that'll kill a company faster than anything is too much debt. So they're getting rid of the debt, and while they're not making as much money, they are becoming more stable, which is always a good thing, and which is why I haven't sold my DHT, even though it did go down a bit. It's kind of going a little bit up today. I'm still in profitability, right? Average cost, $551. Selling for $568. So I'm still within profitability. I do want to sell the 5 shares that I bought yesterday. Sell those for a small profit. Actually, I might have bought those for a little bit more, but I just want to get rid of those. I'll keep the 20 extra. I sold a covered call, so I have to keep at least 100 of these unless I want to cover that covered call. And when you do the math, how much I'd be profiting and everything, it kind of cuts even, and I might as well just stay for the dividend. That is one other important thing that DHT did, is they dropped their dividend from 20%, and obviously Robinhood hasn't caught up yet. They dropped their dividend from 20% to 5%, which is no fun. 20%, of course, was absurdly high. Absurdly high. But 5% is still decent. 5% is a good dividend. If you can find a steady stock with 5% dividend, that's a pretty good buy. But yeah, they dropped their dividend from the absurdly high to a reasonable 5%. 20, even 22% is just way too much. So that's what they did. So that is another negative that came out of that. And seeing these negative things coming, it did not meet earnings and whatnot. I sold my NAT, which, as we've discussed earlier, I believe to be a twin stock. They're owned by the same. They're both owned by Norwegians, based in Bermuda, oil tankers, yada yada yada. Everything's the same except they're different companies. And their stocks, of course, mirror each other pretty closely. So what happens here happens here. So this didn't meet earnings. I sold my NAT. If that meets earnings, I'll buy more NAT. Next quarter. So that's the play for the day. I also, I'll show you my Reddit real fast. Let's look over GameStop. How are we doing today, boys? Probably not doing very well. Drop down. I have an average buy 95. It's been trading sideways for the past week. I mean, it's been going down, but it's been pretty much within a range. After it dropped here, and then it's been trading sideways. For the most part, ever since it stopped, it pretty much. It's been going a slow and steady decline. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bore us out while also, of course, they want people to sell out here. Oh, I could sell it slightly higher. Oh, good. And then they bring it back down. It's all a psychological trick, and it's a good one. Oh, man, am I demoralized? They're doing it. They're demoralizing, boring people out, making people fear their way out. Every trick in the book. Let's go back to Reddit. My messages, not accounting, blah, blah, blah. Penny stocks. All right. So, this guy found this cannabis penny stock very, very cheap. UBQU. He said in his thing that they have a website that's working. They're profitable. They're making money. They're selling millions of dollars worth of CBD and other marijuana products every year. And they're currently trading at this. They're on the pink sheets. You can't buy it on many brokers. But someone told me that I can buy it on Schwab. So I'm going to sell off some of my Schwab stuff, probably my NAT, and my NAK, and buy $10 or something worth of this. And that'll be thousands of shares, obviously, or more. And if that goes to like $1, right? I'll have like 1 million shares, and that goes to $1 a share. I've got $1 million, right? If it goes to 50 cents a share, I've got $500,000, right? So, it's a lottery ticket, but they're doing their stuff. So I think it's worth $10. His D&D was pretty good. It's been removed for some reason, but they're profitable. They're making money. They've got their site up. They're ahead of the curve. And with marijuana possibly being legalized in the near future, that is only, I would not be surprised if that goes up to, 10 cents instead of this, right? It doesn't have to go up to $1. if it goes up to 10 cents, I still make out like a fat cat off of a $10 investment. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't really do my Schwab on the laptop. I do it on my phone because it's just easier that way. They have a slightly better user interface than Vanguard or some other thing on the phone. Not as good as Robinhood. Say what you will about Robinhood, but their user interface is bar none the easiest, most intuitive, best for both beginner and advanced. It doesn't allow all the fancy trades, but it's very easy to see exactly where your money's at, what it's doing, and everything, and that's pretty valuable. At any rate, that's the place for the day. We finally had our DHT earnings come in, and not as good as we'd like, but they gave us a forewarning on our NAT. All right, so peace out till tomorrow.